What is up? It is Andy here on a Tuesday, busy Tuesday in the NHL. You're not busy. You're just sitting at home at noon on a Tuesday. You have nothing to do because you don't have a job the same way you don't have a car. You're hoping to parlay your way into a full salary. You're not like the Columbus Blue Jackets coach, because the Columbus Blue Jackets coach got fired yesterday. And why do I bring that up? Because something that we've always kind of loosely discussed here on the show over the years, when a coach gets fired, NFL, NHL, you swoop in there and try to collect on the free win. Is there any science behind it? Pretty bad to know that it takes firing a coach to get a team motivated to play. When a team fires a coach, they usually respond with a win. Don't ask me to explain the science behind it. You people like donkey stuff like this. So if I have to bring donkey lines to the party, I'm going to bring it with a narrative. And we have a Columbus Blue Jackets coach who just got fired. They have an extremely winnable home game against the Calgary Flames. So let's parlay, for lack of a better term, that firing into the free win. So I'll take the Columbus Blue Jackets to win in this game against the Calgary Flames. And if you're seeing minus 140, you know me, I'm not adding a money line anywhere to my actual betting ticket, but I know you need to. So I would go with the Columbus Blue Jackets. And if you need to turn that frown upside down, if you need to turn that minus into a plus, just take the best forward on the team. Take Marchenko and the Blue Jackets to win. Then you can get them at plus 120. So there's a little donkey line for you to open up the show. And then you know how it goes at the pizzeria. They only do money lines and totals. So there's your money line. Now let's bring a total. And anytime I bring a total, if it starts with the word over, it usually involves the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens, they're one of these young, skilled teams who plays exciting regular season games. You can get wins, a 6-3, 7-3 wins, and then you're just going to get eliminated by a disciplined defensive hard forechecking team. But it's still the regular season. You can enjoy those goals. We can enjoy those goals by taking the over 6 in this game against the Washington Capitals. The Canadiens are on the second half of a back-to-back. Everyone's always on the second half. There are a bunch of teams who played last night and then are playing tonight. And you could track this at home because I'm not doing it. But track the teams who played last night against rested teams. And if you went on the money lines for Washington, Utah, who's playing the Oilers? Would that be, St. Louis? So yeah, let's see. So you want that? The 3 money lines against teams who just had to play last night? St. Louis, my goodness. The Utah, Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes, and then you can take the Washington Capitals in this game against the Montreal Canadiens. See how those home teams against another team who had to travel play last night and that whole thing. We'll see how that goes. 2 out of 3 might hit, and as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But as I mentioned about that game, Montreal, they're pretty good at bringing the offense, and I believe Washington will be able to score against a team who just played last night. I think it's decent ingredients for an over 6 there. But what really stood out to me in that game, that's all the nonsense for the video for people who just, I don't know, you like betting front page stuff. You want to call your friend after the game, say, I told you they would win. But in terms of something that actually excites me, something we haven't seen in a month? 2 months? But yesterday I mentioned those legacy combos that you can take pretty comfortably. And we see Suzuki and Caufield, the rare occasion where we can get both of them at plus 110. So you show me a plus 110 next to those 2 guys, I'll show you a good time. Give me Suzuki and Caufield both for a point against the Washington Capitals, and hopefully that happens because I think that game will go over 6 goals. Then let's talk about some trickle-down snakeonomics. There's nobody who epitomizes trickle-down snakeonomics at the moment better than a player who played last night. We might have to add this to the money line card as well. We had Detroit play an overtime game against Carolina. They're going into Boston. Boston actually is a money line that I like as well. If I had to pick random money lines. Boston coming off a shutout. I like taking teams after a shutout, especially against a team traveling into their building. But then again, this is the upside down season. Nothing matters. You would think, oh my God, Florida, no Kachuk, no Barkov. They lost Marchand. Buffalo never loses, and Buffalo loses at home to a, hobbled Florida Panthers team. So just know that when you're embarking on money line journeys. But in that game, on the Detroit side, nobody embodies trickle-down snakeonomics better than just rusty old James Van Riemsdyk. James Van Riemsdyk, who has been playing on a line with Lucas Raymond and has been elevated to that top power play. Uncoincidentally, ripped off point. I think he has 7 points in his last 6 games, points in 5 consecutive games, because that's what increased opportunity is about. That is what trickle-down snakeonomics is about. Promotion, let's try to extract every last iota of value out of that. Now, typically, if a guy hits at that rate, you see the odds get worse every game. They're keeping this in that plus 125 to plus 130 range. So if you're going to do that, I'm going to take JVR because it makes the correlated. And remember what I said yesterday, teams who are winning, they're likely to keep the roster construction the same. Detroit's been ripping off a bunch of wins, have a ton of points. Congrats, Stevie Bongrips. You're destined for, you know what? Let's keep the congratulations. Things are going great. Detroit Red Wings, yay. But as long as they're winning and continuing to accrue points, then they're not going to change up these lines. So give me James Van Riemsdyk for a point, and then you toss in Lucas Raymond. How easy is that? About plus 220 in this game against the Boston Bruins. Worries me a little bit. I tend to think this one's going to be of the lower scoring variety, but a value is a value. And I got another one over there in that game between Vancouver and the Ottawa Cheaters. How many of you out there cheat on your wife? What are we talking about? You never had a wife, you never had a car. But we have the Ottawa Senators playing awful hockey, losing everywhere, entrenched in this controversy with Ullmark and the cheating husbands. And then you have Vancouver, another team. Things just keep getting worse. All right, we got rid of JT Miller. We got rid of the coach. We're going to start now. They're just awful. They are bottom of the barrel awful. But what did I tell you? Sometimes one of two things happen when you have bottom of the barrel versus bottom of the barrel. Sometimes you get some hidden ruckus and you get some opportunities. And the opportunities, a couple of them that I see, are on that Vancouver side. Vancouver, they scored a couple goals last night. Another team who's on the second half of a back-to-back. And I'm just looking for the best value on that squad. And I'm seeing Connor Garland, who returned yesterday, didn't register a point, although Vancouver did score 3 goals. He was on the top power play. He was playing with Brock Besser at 5-on-5. If they juggle lines, he's always likely to remain in the top 6. He's not somebody that they bury at the bottom of the roster. They need every healthy person they can get with 1 iota of skill. And they're putting him at like plus 120. He should be the same price as those other guys. He should be right around where DeBrusk is, or where Besser is, or where Pettersson is, because they all kind of get the same opportunities. So you give me Connor Garland for a point. And like I said, no combos there because it's a losing lineup that's probably going to be in flux throughout the duration of the game if things aren't going well. That is what I have for you here on this busy Tuesday. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Make sure you are subscribed here to the YouTube channel. I'll be back with you tomorrow for the next round of NHL Sniffs. Take it easy.